All right, so today we're going to talk about our practice for Monday, May 15th. All right, question 1. Find the sum of the first 9 terms of geometric series given the first term is 6 and the fourth term is 48. So remember, guys, that the formula is Sn equals your value of the first term in the parentheses 1 minus your ratio raised to the n divided by 1 minus your r. Okay, so our first term is 6. All right. Now, we don't know what our ratio is, but we do know that the first term is 6. We don't know the second term. We don't know the third term. We know the fourth term is 48. Okay. So remember that we are going to have how many r's? 1, 2, 3. So you can either do it in your head or you can do 6 times r cubed because we got 3 r's equals your 48. Divide both sides by 6. Okay, r cubed equals 8. We're going to cube root both sides. So my r is 2. Okay, so my r is 2. And then we also know that our n is 9 right here. Okay, so this is going to be 6, 1 minus 2 raised to the 9th power divided by 1 minus 2. And of course, I keep the 1 minus 2 on the bottom in the parentheses while putting it in a calculator. It makes a huge difference in the answer, okay? Because you are going to be dividing by -1. And if you don't have a parenthesis, you're going to be dividing by 1 and then subtracting 2. Okay? So your final answer is 3066. All right, number 2. Use geometric series sequence to answer the following question, and then you are given a data here. All right. So, all right, I can tell that from 3 to 9, 9 to 27, 27 to 81, then my r is going to be 3. So my first term, a1, is 3. I am multiplying each number by 3, and I am looking for sum of 9 terms. So my n will be 9. Again, the formula, 3. 1 minus my r is 3 to the 9th power. Whole thing divided by 1 minus 3. Put it in the calculator. Again, the bottom of the parentheses, you get 29,523. All right, next question. Question 3a. Which of the following functions represents the graph? So here we have different types of piecewise functions. Okay. So again, first we need to determine which function belongs to which equation. I can tell that this is a straight line, so this is going to be y equals -2. I can tell that this is my absolute value function, so that must be x minus 1 and the absolute value plus 2, because remember the absolute value function looks like a v, and this must be my cubed function, which is cube root of x minus 3. Okay. Now, I noticed that my linear function right here when y equals -2 has a closed circle, which means that my x is going to have an equal sign in it, and it is to the left of my circle. So it's either to the right or to the left. It is my function is to the left of my circle, which means that x is going to be less than or equal to, and the number is -2. Okay, or is it -1? It's -1. I apologize. It's -1. Okay, for x value. So now this could be it. This could be it. Let's see what else. They all could be it. Okay, never mind. All right. So let's move on to the absolute value function. Okay. Now, the trick here for absolute value is that we have one that says x minus 1 and one that says x plus 1. Okay. Now, again, I already figured out that this was x minus 1 because our function have shifted to the right, okay, from the origin. So remember, when function shifts to the right, we're going to subtract 1. It's going to be the opposite, okay? So that tells me that B could not be true. Neither could be D, okay? Now, let's see if it's A or if it's C, okay? Now, for the function, for the absolute function, I got both open circles. That is correct. Okay, so the first point checks out and the second point checks out for both. Let's look at our cubed function. Okay, our cubed function has a closed circle right here, and it's either going to be greater than or less than or equal to. Of course, the function is to the right of my circle. So it's going to be x, it's greater than 2. All right, so right here, we don't have an equal sign, so A is also not an answer. The correct answer is C. Now, part B says what is the average rate of change for the function on the interval of negative 1 and 1. Again, a reminder, rate of change represents a slope. So let's find the interval. Interval, we always read it on the x-axis. Even if it's looking like a point, it should be in the brackets, okay? So between -1 and 1, so let's look, -1 and 1, it's our absolute value function. And we are going to go 1 down, 1 over, 1 down, 1 over. So that is -1, okay? The interval for part B is -1. All right, question 4. The UPS offers flat rate of mailing packages, $2.50 for package weighing less than 5 ounces, $3.50 for package weighing less than 6, for package weighing 6 ounces to less than 9 ounces, and $4.50 for package weighing 9 ounces to 14 ounces. So let's now figure it out. So, of course, it's going to be $2.50, $3.50, and $4.50, okay? Now, $2.50 says it's weighing less than 5 ounces. So now I know that my x is going to be less than 5 ounces. Is it going to be less than equal to? No, because it doesn't state it. It says less only, okay? So looking at our graphs, I know that B cannot be it because these are wrong ounces for the price, okay? And then the other 3 answers seems like they are correct. All right, now let's move on to 350. 350 says it's weighing 6 ounces to less than 9 ounces. So 6 ounces to less than 9 ounces, okay? So that means it is 6 ounces including and then less than 9 ounces, okay? So it does not say less or equal to 9 ounces. It's less than. So that means 6 ounces. So the package of 350 could weigh 6 ounces to less than 9, right? So that means one bracket is going to be closed, one bracket is going to be open. All right, so let's look at our, okay, so answer B right here. This is missing an equal sign, so A cannot be it, okay? And then these two are both correct. Let's see. Nope. This one has the wrong ounces, okay? For answer D, 350 is between 9 and 14. That is not true. That is our 450 package. So this also could not be it. So the correct answer is C. All right, small store at the mall is selling craft coffee mugs. It takes 3 hours to make small coffee mug, which will represent for X, okay? And 5 hours to make a large coffee mug, which is represent for Y, okay? So small right here is represent for X. It's represent for Y. All right. The craft owner has no more than 45 hours available to make coffee mugs and wants to have at least 8 small coffee mugs to sell. All right, so of course you guys got to first come up with the equation and then graph it in decimals, okay? So I know that I have 3 hours to make small coffee mugs, which are represented by X, and 5 hours to make large coffee mugs, which are represented by Y. That has to be not equal. That has to be no more than 45 hours, okay? So the craft owner has no more than 45 hours available, all right? So that means it has to be 45 hours or less, all right? Now, it says that that 45 hours available to make coffee mugs and wants to have at least 8 small coffee mugs to sell. So I need to have at least, which is equal to 8 or more, okay, of the small coffee mugs, which is represented by X. So now let me set up the decimals very quick. All right, so I'll put both of these functions in decimals. 3x plus 5y, it's less or equal to 45, and x is greater or equal to 8. And as you can guys see right here, let me zoom it out a little bit, it shows you the both of the equation, okay? So this is represented by the red shaded area. It's represented by 3x plus 5y. It's less than, and then the blue area is represented by x is greater than 8, okay? Now, this triangle right here will be your, oopsie, this triangle right here would be represented, let me see if I can, all right, hold on. All right, so right here, this is represented by the most shaded area right here. Sorry, I had some difficulties with the pen. All right, so this is the most shaded area triangle right here for you guys, okay? So looking back at I'm having some really difficulties with this pen. So looking back, this is your most shaded area right here, guys. Okay, from what you saw in Desmos. All right. Now, the question is asking you, which of the following is a possible combination given the constraints of the situation? So again, you need to be able to understand that large represents Y, okay, and then small represents X, all right? These are just points. So this is telling you that you have 5 small, because it's written backwards, right? And 6 large, all right? The second point, it's saying 9 small and 4 large. The third point, it's saying 10 small and 4 large. And the last point, it's saying 15 small and 0 large, okay? Now we need to find which one would be the possible combination. So do I have 5 and 6 inside that triangle, okay? So 5x, which is right here, and 6. So that's a no, all right? It is not in our shaded area, okay? We need it right here, guys, all right? Now, next one, it's 9, okay? So 9 would be, so it's 2, 4, 6, 9 will be somewhere here, and then 4 will be somewhere here. So let me look back very quick because it's easier to read it in decimals. So 9, this is 8, 9, and 4. Okay, so 9 and 4 will be right here where my arrow is. So no, this does not look like right here at this point. Nope, right there. So this does not look like, 9 and 4 does not look like it's in our shade area. It's right just above where my arrow is pointing. Okay, so that could also not be it, right? 10 and 4, let's see. 10 and 4, again, it will be where my arrow is right here. It would not be in the shaded area. This cannot also be it. And 15 and 0. Okay, So 15 and 0. Yes, this is our point that is right here at the edge of our triangle. This is our possible solution, okay? So 15 small mugs and 0 large mugs, okay? Our correct answer is D. Again, it's hard to read from the graph right here that we are having on the screen, but the point would be right here, okay? And that is our solution. All right, baker is selling 2 types of cupcakes, regular for R and vegan for V. If a customer wants to buy no more than a dozen cupcakes and wants to try at least one of each kind, what would be the constraints that represent how many cupcakes the customer can buy? So first of all, we are going to have regular plus vegan. Now we got to figure out if it's going to be greater than 12 cupcakes, which is our dozen, or less than. So here it says if a customer wants to buy no more, so that means I cannot have 13 cupcakes, I can only have 12 or less. So that means it's going to go, the arrow is going to go to your left, so that's less than 12. So right here, as I am reading, I can eliminate answer C, okay, and answer B. All right. Now, the other 2 answers, A and D, very easy, because a baker is selling 2 types of cupcakes, right? And if a customer wants to buy no more than a dozen cupcakes and wants to try at least one kind each, okay? So it cannot be 0, all right? They want to try at least one kind each. So that means regular, they want to try at least one or more, and the vegan, they want to try at least one or more. Okay, so the correct answer is T. All right, and then here, let me move that up a little bit for you guys. All right, here it says, which of the following graphs it represents this equation, -2 of absolute value of x plus 1 minus 3. Again, guys, use Desmos to graph it and compare it. But if you I don't need to do that, or if you know really good with your transitions, I would just check it in Desmos. But just remember that what is -3 represents? -3 represents up or down. So we either going to go up or down. Obviously, if we have a -3 here, we are going to go down 3. Okay, plus on the inside of the parentheses, +1 represents the opposite. Shift left or right, so that means we're going to go left by 1, okay? And then negative in the front represents reflection over x-axis. All right. And then 2 is our stretch. Now, remember that our absolute value function always starts on the origin. So that means if I'm going to reflect it, that means I cannot have an answer C or D. All right. It has to be either A or B. Now, I am moving down 3. So from here, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I moved down 3. So right here, I went up. So I know it's not B, it's going to be A. But let's just confirm. I moved down 3. I reflected over x-axis. I moved down 3. And now I moved 1 to the left, which is correct. Let's answer A. All right, question 8 is what is the equation for an absolute value function when you're starting with your function of absolute value of x, your parent function, given that it has a vertical reflection over x-axis. So I know that reflection means negative. Vertical shift down 3 and a horizontal shift left 1. So again, down 3, so -3 on the outside. Okay. I reflected over x-axis, so I'm going to put negative on the front of the parentheses, not on inside. And then I'm going to do shift left 1, so that means I'm going to add 1 because that is our opposite. We always do the opposite on the inside. So this is answer C. All right, now question 9. Oh, question 9 is right here. All right, question 9 says which function represents the step function? So again, You guys have 4 step functions here. All right. You got a 3, the 5, the 8, and the 10. Now, the 3 has a closed parentheses and an open parentheses. So in between the points of -1 and 2, we're going to have closed parentheses and open parentheses. Okay. So let's start with that. So right here, I can already tell that answer A is not correct and answer C will not be correct. Okay. It could be now B or D. Let's move on to the next one. 5. 5 have a closed parentheses and open parentheses between 2 and 4. So let's look at B and D. Okay. They both are correct. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. It is 8. So let's move on to the 8. 8 has a closed parentheses on the far end to the left and an open parentheses on the far end to the right. Okay, and I am between 4 and 9. All right, so let's check. Between these two, D is not correct. It's going to be B. All right, question 10. All right, for question 10, what is the solution of the equation? All right, so again, we are going to find and we're going to turn it into a log, but we can also use an exponential property if we would like and convert the right side of a 1/16 to have the same base as 2. I don't know if you guys remember that, okay? So for 1/16 to become a 2, so for 1/16 to become a 2, I can turn this 2 into what power? Well, first of all, I can turn 1/2 into a what power? It's going to be 4, okay? So I can turn 1/16 into 1/2 to the 4th power because 16 and 2 to the 4th power are the same numbers, okay? Now, I still don't have a 2, so what I can do is I need to turn it into a negative, okay? Because remember that negative will make the 2 go on the bottom of the fraction. So 1/16 is the same as 2 to a -4th, okay? So now, if I write this 2 to the 2 to the x plus 4 equals 2 to -4, now I have both of them have the same base, as you guys noticed, okay? The same base right here. And what happens when I have the same base on two sides of the equal sign? They cancel out, correct? So what comes down is the exponent, okay? Plus 4, oopsie, sorry guys. Plus 4 equals -4. And now I just solve for x. I'm going to move the 4, 2x now equals -8. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So x equals -4. So remember, it's the answer D. We are using a same base property, okay? All right, number 11a. What is the solution of the equation? Again, this is a log. I am going to turn it into exponential. So remember, if it's not written, the base is 10. So it's going to be 10 raised to what's on the other side, which is 3, will equal 2x plus 6, okay? Now, that is 1,000, all right? Equals 10 to the 3rd power is 1,000 equals 2x plus 6. Going to subtract 6 from both sides. This is going to be 994. That equals 2x. And to solve for x, all I have to do is divide by 2. So x will equal 497. All right. 11b, you guys have logs, and again, you can use a log property to condense those logs, okay? Because we cannot cancel the logs out, remember that, until they're proportionally one log on each side of the equal sign. So that means I gotta combine these two, okay? So I'm gonna combine, since there is a plus sign, that means that inside are gonna be multiplied. So I have a 1 log of 6, okay? And on the inside, I'm going to multiply 2x minus 5 times 3, okay? Now the whole thing equals log of 4x plus 1. Now, since I have two logs, this is log 6. Now, since I have two logs at the same base on each, proportionally on each side of the equal sign, now I can cancel them out, okay? Then I get 2x minus 5 times 3 equals 4x plus 1. I'm going to distribute the 3. Okay, so that's going to be 6x minus 15 now equals 4x plus 1. And now, of course, all I have to do is combine like terms. Okay, so I'm going to move the 4 this way, subtract it. 4x, going to cancel out on the right. Leaves me with 2x minus 15 equals 1. I'm going to add 15 to the other side, combine the like terms. 2x equals 16, and all I have to do is divide both sides by 2. X equals 8. All right. All right, any deposits, 3,000 in savings, okay? No further deposits withdrawal. Their account, so 3,000 is deposited. The account receives 6.5% annual, so that's 0.065. Interest compounded monthly, so that's monthly means we have 12 months. Which of the following expression represents? So we got 3,000, which is the money we're investing. Remember the formula, it's 1 plus real rate, which is 0.065, divided by N, which is 12 months. All right. And then 12 months times, and what is the time? 6 years. All right. So 6 times 12, it's 72. So it looks like it's an answer C. The value of the car depreciates over time. So depreciation means, remember, it's A equals P 1 minus your rate over N times time. Okay. So the value depreciates, purchase of the car. 2019, the value V of the car can be modeled by the equation. If you want to know a specific value of the car after T years, how could you rewrite it? So we don't even need the formula right here. All we have to do is rewrite it. So we got log of 0.4 V over 12,400, okay, equals T, all right? So we are solving for V. So now we are going to convert it into an exponential function. Because we don't need to subtract anything or divide by anything, we simply are going to convert it. So our base is 0.4 right here. Raised to it, T, what's on another side, will equal V over 12,400, okay? Now, to solve for V, I got to get rid of this fraction. So what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply both sides by 12,400, okay? These going to cancel out. So V will equal 12,400 times 0.4 T. So that is answer A. All right, how long does it take for an investment of $1,600 to double and an annual interest rate of 8.25% compounding continuously? So remember, it's P E to rate times time, okay? That is our formula for continuously to double, okay? So we have 1,600, this is our initial value, okay, times E. Our percentage is 0.0825. We don't know our time. We asked about time. What we do know is that we wanted to double that 1,600. Okay. So now remember, if proportionally you have two the same numbers or variables on each side of the equal sign, they can cancel out. So we got 2 now left. Time equals E raised to 0.825t. Now, how do we get rid of E? We're gonna do the inverse, which is ln. All right. So these gonna cancel out, ln and E. I got ln of 2 on the left equals 0. Oops. Sorry, guys. I missed a 0 in there. 0.0825. 0.0825. T. All right. Now, to solve for t, all I have left is divide by 0.0825, both sides. All right, so t equals 8.40. All right, and a 15, what is the solution to the equation? 2 ln x equals 24. So of course, before we can undo the inverse and convert it to e, we are going to divide both sides by 2 because we got to make sure that the ln of x is by itself. All right, and now remember that if it's not written, the base is e, so it's going to be e raised to a 12th power equals x. Right, so again, e raised to what's on the other side equals x. Now e to the 12th power is one of our answers, which is